Hello people, it's Gino here from realeverydayenglish.com. If you are a person who is trying to improve your English fluency and sound like a more natural, confident English speaker during your conversations, then you're definitely in the right place. And if this is your first time here, you should definitely consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to push the little bell notification so that you never miss a free video. So today's video isn't going to have a particular topic or a particular aim. I'm not at work today. The job that we was meant to be working on got cancelled. So I'm taking a walk through a local nature park or nature reserve called Haigh Woodland Park. And I'm going to take you guys along with me and show you some things and hopefully teach you some vocabulary. I'm currently at the entrance to Haigh Hall. This is the entrance to we call this the plantations, but it's like it's a woodlands with a path through the middle. So this is the path, and you can see there's trees all around the side. It's a beautiful place. We're going to take a walk through, but at the entrance you've got this big double gate. So you've got this big posh double gate, and you can see that these metal spikes on the top, so they're quite sharp. That's a spike. We use the word spike to refer to something that's sharp. It could be made out of any material: wood, glass, metal. We can even use the word spike to refer to thorns which grow from plants. So yeah, that's a metal spike. Then if we take a look at the structure that surrounds the gates, you can see that there's this archway. This is what we call an arch or an archway, and we use the word arch to describe this semicircle kind of shape when it's in a brick or stone structure. So these structures here at the beginning, they're made out of, this is stone, it's not brick. And the difference is that brick is used to refer to the smaller pieces that a house is built out of. But this is stone, and so is the archway here as well, that's made out of stone too. So you can see the weather is being kind to us again here in England. If you look up there, through the gaps in the trees, you can see the sun shining. It's a beautiful day again. I'm currently walking down a hill, so you might not be able to see it too much on the video, but this is actually a hill. It's quite steep as well. It's quite steep. So I'm walking down the hill, which means I'm coming from the top to the bottom. If I was going in the opposite direction, so if I was going this way, then I would say that I'm walking up the hill. But sometimes we use walk up and walk down when we're not necessarily climbing a hill or descending a hill. An example of that would be if I was walking down a street. The street might be completely flat, level, but I can say I'm walking down the street. Likewise, I can also say in that situation, I'm walking up the street. So I can say I'm walking down the street, I'm walking up the street. Or if you can see someone in the distance and they're on the phone to you, you could say something like, oh, I'm walking up to you now, or I'm walking down to you. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're walking down or up. It's just a general term to say that you're walking towards them, really. So in this particular bit where we are, I'm on the path, and you can see you've got two like stone faces or verges, you might call it a verge. And you can see there's a tree that has been chopped, so it's been cut, so it's a tree stump, but underneath you can see all of the roots. Sorry, when I do that the camera focuses on my finger, but when I move my finger away you can see all of the roots coming out of the bottom of the tree. It's quite impressive. I'm going to climb up, so I'm climbing up the embankment to show you the roots more closely. So they're roots. They will have at one point been covered by land, but the land has been eroded away, so you can see the roots now. Here's something you don't see very often these days in England. These things in the floor here, they're called cobbles, and this is what the streets in England used to be made out of, the roads, but obviously now they're all tarmacked. If you dug the tarmac up, the cobbles would still be there underneath, I think. So yeah, these are called cobbles, and like I said, you don't see these too much in England these days. On the other side of this fence, or railings, we'd call these railings, but you could say fence. So on the other side, you can see that the floor is a lot lower down there, and it's a sudden drop. We use the word drop to describe that. So a drop is used to describe a very immediate change in the level of the floor. So you can see from the end there, and then you've got a drop, and I'd say that's a good 20-foot drop, something like that. So here's an interesting vocabulary point. Here on the floor we've got some mud. Mud is earth which has become wet through the rain, and the two words we can use to describe this, one is mud and the other one is sludge, and it's just earth that's been wet and it's got like a really thick consistency. It'll also get your clothes really dirty too. So here we've got some water. We wouldn't refer to this as a river, it's more like a stream or a brook maybe, but the vocabulary point I wanted to teach you is, you can see the water is running, is the sound, and we use the word trickling to describe that sound. So the sound would be referred to as a trickling sound. See, we've got lots of brown dried out leaves, and now we're in September. As the season changes from summer into autumn, the leaves on the trees will all turn orange, yellow, and they'll fall down onto the floor. And if you walk through these plantations during this time, the whole floor will be covered in these kind of leaves. I love to kick the leaves, kick them, and when the wind blows them, they make this sound. It's like a rustling sound. So the leaves rustle against the floor. Look at that sky. It's absolutely beautiful. I love to look at the contrast between the dark green of the leaves and the deep blue of the sky. I love that. It's really nice. Oh yeah, something I haven't explained to you guys. A few weeks ago I did a video about, well, I think it was more than a few weeks ago. I think it was a couple of months ago, 3-4 months, and it was about my job and the kind of things that I do. I actually quit that job, and now I work with my dad. We do a specialist kind of cleaning. We go into houses where the houses are in really bad condition for one reason or another. There's problems with health, mental health, substance abuse. For one reason or another, the houses are in very bad condition, and me and my dad, we go in there and we don't just clean the houses, but we also provide a supportive, non-judgmental service. And the reason that I actually quit my job working as a quality engineer was because I changed jobs in 2019. I got headhunted and asked to work for another company. I wasn't looking for another job, and I got offered another job with the company even though I wasn't looking, and they offered me a bit more money, so I thought I'd try it, but it turned out to be a mistake. The job was way too stressful. They were putting way too much work on me, and when I was getting home at night I couldn't switch off. My head was just all over the place, so I decided to quit that job, and now I'm working with my dad, which is very, very good. One of the main reasons for that is I get to spend some time with my dad, so that's the one good thing. Another good thing is there isn't any company politics. When you work for a company, you can't control the people who you have to spend all your time around. So if you're working in an environment where there are some negative people, or there's a lot of gossiping going on, you can't control that, and after a while it starts to take its effect on you. So yeah, it's all good. So there's no negativity, there's no gossiping, there's no company politics. It's just me and my dad spending some time together, working hard and helping people to turn their lives around, really. It's a very positive thing. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And of course, another really positive aspect about working with my dad is that I have more time to myself now, and you will have noticed that I've been creating extra content, more than just the one video a week, just recently, and that's another good thing because I get to create content and waffle onto the camera like I am doing today. Like I said to you, there isn't a particular subject for this video. It's just something that I thought you might find interesting to see Haigh Woodland Park, and to see some of the beautiful scenery that you can get in the town of Wigan. Look, there's a squirrel. See this animal? It's a squirrel. As I walk over it, I run off. We call that a squirrel. Lovely animal, and they like to climb the trees. Oh look, he's running off. He's running off into the trees. I thought I'd just take a quick shot of my surroundings here. I actually enjoy coming to run through these plantations. It's just beautiful, so quiet. You're away from the hustle and the bustle of the town centre of Wigan, because Wigan's quite a big town. It's got a very big population, more than 200,000 people, which is big considering it's just a town or a sub part of the city of Manchester. But yeah, beautiful surroundings here, and the sun is shining, makes it all that much better. On this tree stump, you've got a couple of things growing. This is like it's a fungal growth, but we would refer to that as a mushroom, even though it doesn't look exactly like a mushroom. And the other one is moss. This green stuff here is moss. So that's moss, and this is like a mushroom or fungi. It's a fungal growth, but I would call that a mushroom. So here I'm on a bridge. This is the canal down here. It's a canal, it's not a river. I would refer to this as a canal. Slight difference in the fact that this is a man-made waterway. And you can see over there we've got some ducks, and the ducks are swimming in the water. Actually got a map of Haigh Hall Country Park. You can see there, welcome to Haigh Woodland Park. And some of the things, this is Haigh Hall, so this is in the middle, and this is where we're walking to, because I want to show you the view over here. But you can see here there's a guy playing golf. He's swinging his golf club and hitting the golf ball. And we are somewhere down here, so we're going to walk all the way up this path. Somebody riding a bike. There's actually a train line as well, but we're going to walk all the way up here and then end up here. So here we have a split. Well, it's not a split in the path, but you can see I can either go this way or I can stick to the main path. This is the main path that goes all the way through. I could go that way, but this way is quicker, so we use the word shortcut to refer to that. So this way is a shortcut because it takes you less time to get there. This particular kind of plant here is called a stinging nettle. Now I don't know if you have these in your country. Let me know in the comments below. But if I was to touch this and rub it, it would give me quite a nasty rash on my fingers, and we call them nettles or stinging nettles. What we have here is a bramble bush, and can you see these spikes that stick off the side? They're very sharp spikes. We call these thorns. Now the difference between the word thorn and the word spike is that you can use the word spike to describe this, which is a thorn, but you can't use the word thorn to describe a metal spike. A thorn is a spike which grows from a plant, so this is a thorn, and that's the difference. I actually taught one of my language partners that difference yesterday on the phone, so I thought it'd be a good vocabulary point to teach you guys. So at this point I'm going to walk out of the woodland. There's like an opening. There's an opening where there's no trees, and you can see behind me that there are all the trees in the woods. So I would use the phrase to walk out of. So I'm walking out of the woods. Here we have the train tracks for the miniature train. So these metal parts are the actual train tracks or the train lines, and you see these wooden pieces. So you've got one there, then you've got another one, then you've got another one. They're called sleepers, and sometimes they're wooden, sometimes they're concrete, sometimes they're even metal actually on actual train lines. But yeah, so these are the train tracks, that's the sleeper, and this is the actual train line. At this point you can actually see Haigh Hall in the distance over there. Every time I do that the camera focuses on my finger, but that's where we're going, so come on, let's go. So here we are guys, we made it up to Haigh Hall. You can see it's rather a big building. Once you get up close, the windows are really big windows. I don't think it's actually serving any purpose at the moment. It was a hotel until just recently. I don't know why it's begun to shut down, but you can see there's a balcony on the side. This is a balcony, and if you look over to the side, over the golf course, you can see that you've got this amazing view. That's a view of over Wigan town. If I can just zoom in a bit, you can see behind the golf course there's the actual town. Beautiful place. It's a very relaxing place as well. Here we've got a telescope. This is a telescope, it's written on the side there. And you can use this to look out into the view and see what you can see in the town. But there's a charge of 20 pence. So you put 20 pence in there, twist this, and then that unlocks the lens and you're able to do some searching around, see what you can see. So here we've got a fountain. That's called a fountain. It's in the middle of this little lake. You can see to the side there's all water lilies. They're a kind of plant that float on top of the water. But yeah, that's a fountain. Well, thanks for joining me on this little walk up to Haigh Hall. Like I said, there was no general topic for this video. It was just an opportunity for you to practice your listening. Maybe you learned some new vocabulary with the stuff I showed you. But the most important thing is you got to see Haigh Hall. Don't forget, if you guys are ever in northwest England, Manchester, Wigan, Liverpool, that kind of area, make sure you give me a shout and we'll grab a coffee. Until the next video, take care people, bye bye for now, ciao.